Here with Matt Rohde, head coach, Springport Spartans, and coach entering your second season. But last year, hired right before the season started, didn't really have a chance to set up an off-season program or anything like that. Tell me about last year's season, how it propelled you into this year, and how you've had a chance to actually install a full off-season program.
So last year, obviously getting the job 2 weeks before everything started, I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And what I noticed during the season is that what we lacked was a physicality, which I think was tied directly to the weight room. So I really pushed the weight room in the off season, especially right after basketball got done, because you kind of have that, track and baseball. So it's like the kids are able to kind of have that time to get up in the weight room. And I've just seen the numbers just take off. And hopefully that carries over to Friday nights, and for our league Monday nights, because we play on Monday nights too with the JV. But that's kind of been the biggest, I guess, plus that I've seen so far this year, is that the boys have really bought into the weight room, and that was something that I was hoping that they would do. That'll carry over.
Well, speaking of weight room, your team motto for the year is Iron Sharpens Iron. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you, and what does that mean to the Spartan program?
So Iron Sharpens Iron is basically saying that we make each other better. That the man next to you, the guy in the weight room that you're lifting with, if you have a sword and you sharpen an iron sword, you use iron to sharpen the iron sword. And I expect our athletes on the football team that they're going to be sharpening each other, keeping each other accountable. And I was talking to you guys earlier, and I expect that the kids keep me accountable too. As a head coach and all of our assistant coaches, we need to be putting in the time, the effort, making sure that the kids know that we love them and that we care about them and that we're there for them. And if we're all kind of sharpening each other, being there for each other, then I think that's going to carry over to the Spartan program. And I think it'll go on for a long time too if we kind of keep that mentality.
You graduated a lot last year. I think you're the only coach in the area that can say last year's starting right tackle is going to be this year's starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But you are excited about your athletes that you have. Yeah. Talk about what your expectations are this year for the Spartan offense.
I feel like that they have a lot more confidence this year than kind of what we came into the season with last year. I know that 7-on-7s are kind of like shadow boxing. But what I've seen in the 7-on-7s is that the kids have a confidence and they have a understanding of what we're trying to do. Rylan, who is our quarterback, Rylan was a tackle. This year he's a quarterback, and I was concerned about that until the 7-on-7s, when I watch him step up, look around, and identify the coverage and make the right play. So I just really feel like, we have some young guys, a lot of young guys, but they have confidence, and they are trying to get the understanding of what they have to do, and I think they get it.
Let's talk about your bread and butter and the side of the football that you're really most excited about. Returned 4 starters from last year's defensive squad. Can you talk about the expectations for this year's Spartan defense?
So last year we gave up a lot of points, and we gave up a lot of points on the ground, and I think a lot of that has to do with we just weren't very physical. We were great in the secondary. In fact, I was really happy about the amount of yards, touchdowns that we gave up in the air. It was the least amount that they've given up in quite a long time. But a lot of the teams knew that if they went nose to nose with us in the trenches, that they were going to get yards and that they were going to get touchdowns. I'm really going to push from day one physicality. We need to be physical. We can't let people bring it up to us. We got to bring it to them. So that is going to be our mentality this year, more physical on defense.
So 3-6 season last year, missed the playoffs for only the second time in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. What does this team need to do over the next 2 weeks, and then as the season goes on, to return to playoff football?
Just being consistent, once again, on the defensive side of the ball. I am not concerned about Coach Overway being able to score points. I never have been. He's been doing this a long time, and he is someone who really thinks outside of the box. If we are going to get wins on Friday night, we've got to be more consistent on the defensive side of the ball. And I know I just talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it every other day with the kids too as well. Defense, defense, defense is what's going to get us into the playoffs again.
Matt Rohde, head coach, Springport Spartans, are going to start the year against Stockbridge week 1, then they get right into Big 8 play. Coach, best of luck this year.
Thank you very much.